Hey everyone, Platt Sam. Welcome to part 2 of our Revell 71 Oldsmobile 442 video build. So yes, we're back for part 2. We're going to start off where we left off in part 1. We're going to crack on getting all those interior parts primed, painted, get some of it together and get it on its way for final assembly in part 3. Kit's been really good so far. Spoiler alert, it's there. I think I mentioned that in part 1, but hey, it is. It's the way I'm filming these videos now. I used to get to one point, edit it, release the video, then carry on with the build. Now I'm just building the entire kit and getting it all together. I've no idea what's going on out there. It's like someone's revving a Hoover. It's the worst sounding car I've heard in my life. I don't know what the hell it is, but it sounds like a Hoover. Anyway, so yeah, that's the way the videos are going now. So the kit is done. Great kit, really good. But let's get on with the build and let's get this prepped and ready for final assembly. Right then, we're back for part 2, leading off exactly where we left in part 1. So we're priming up some of the interior parts now. We've got some Mr. Surfacer 1500 black. We're just putting a couple of light coats down, followed by a slightly wetter coat at the end, just to get it to self-level a little bit. We're going around everything we did in part 1. We got all the parts off and clean them up, so it's a big priming session. I think it's something about an hour just to prime all these parts. There's quite a lot of them, and it takes a while to do. But we're using my Iwata CR3 Revolution at about 18 psi. We've got some Mr. Hobby leveling, Mr. Surfacer, sorry, black 1500 thinned with Mr. Hobby leveling thinner. It's about 60-40 mix of thinner to paint. I'm just going to go around, like I say, and give everything a couple of coats of primer and give it a slightly wetter coat on the last one, just so we get it to self-level a bit. It's not the thickest primer in the world, and it can benefit from going on a little bit thicker on the last coat. Just don't hose it on to begin with, or you get all sorts of pooling and nasties. The chassis, we've done black as well, and the interior tub too. So we just hold it underneath on this one because it's only the top being done. So we've got a bulldog clip underneath. Like I say, a few coats of this. Get some nice coverage. Make sure you get your extractor on, you got a respirator on, your hands covered. Don't be getting any paint on your hands. Don't be breathing any of these fumes. Don't be painting around any small children or animals or any other family members. Play it safe. And then on the chassis, as you can see, we've got some cocktail sticks in one side and a bulldog clip on the back. It's just the easiest way to hold it. Lots of angles to spray on this, so it's going to take a little bit of time to do. Like I said, it's probably spent about an hour priming this. It took me quite a while to do. But it's a case of just systematically going around all those nooks and crannies, all those different angles to make sure it's all fully primed. Now these chrome parts that we de-chromed, we're going to prime in Mr. Hobby GX2 Gloss Black. So we're going to get a nice healthy dose of this. So I'm just going to get a coat on to begin with, not too thick. And then the last couple of coats will be a wetter coat. We want this to be as gloss black as possible because we're going to spray these with some decanted Revell chrome, well, chrome paint. We're still not sure on the longevity or the usability of this stuff yet. I need to do some testing. To be honest, my own finding so far is it's pretty much like Molotow. It's not very resilient to handling, but clear coating it with a water-based clear like Aquagloss does help. We're going to paint the engine block in ProScale white primer, and we're going to paint this in, let me get this right, hang on. Is it GM Engine Blue? I think it was GM Engine Blue. I completely forget now. Hopefully I'll show the bottle in a minute. There it is. Oldsmobile Engine Blue. I was close. So another new paint added to our line of the engine colours. This beautiful blue. And I'll be honest, I quite happily use this on a car body. It's a beautiful metallic blue. Absolutely stunning colour for the engine. Now I know some of the earlier engines were gold on these, but I believe from 70 onwards or 71 onwards they went to this blue. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm only going on one of the resources I found. And we're putting several light coats of this down. And like I say, beautiful colour. I'd be more than happy using this just on a car body alone. Absolutely stunning colour. So a couple of light coats. And there we go. Look at that. Absolutely stunning engine. Beautiful. Like I say, this kit is phenomenal. The detail on it, absolutely amazing. As I said in part 1, I screwed up a decal and had to buy another kit. Oh no. So we'll definitely build another one of these at a later date, because this has just been a really great fun build so far. Got some Pro Scale Napa Black Leather now. All the primers dry. It's probably about 6 hours later now. We're back in the booth. It was a mammoth spraying session on this one. Like I say, clean all the parts up in one go pays off in dividends, because you clean it all up in one go, you prime it all in one go, paint it all in one go. It just means you've got longer sessions of each, which can get a little bit boring sometimes, but it's so much faster building the kits this way. You're like a production line. It's so much quicker, rather than prepping some parts, priming some parts, painting some parts, prepping some parts, because it takes longer to do it in separate sections. This is a very, very efficient way of building models. It really is. So a couple of coats of the, I think this is Napa Black Leather on this one, isn't it? Or did I do Jet Black? No, this is Napa Black Leather on this one. I think in the later video I call it Jet Black, and it's not. It's Napa. So remember, it's Napa Black. This is probably one of my favourite shades of Pro Scale Leather. This and the Bordeaux Red and the Ochre. Some of my favourite shades. But I do like this Napa. It's got a slight grey hint of the black, and I just think it looks absolutely perfect on seats. Really good. So several light coats of that. Obviously, we're going to do the back seat as well. The actual carpeted bit at the front and the partial shelf will be flocked later on, so not too important. Obviously, don't hose the paint on. There's no benefit in hosing the paint on. Don't be in too much of a rush. You're better off doing 3 light coats than 1 heavy one, because you get a better finished paint, and it'll look a lot better in the long run. Trust me, it will. So there we go. With that done, we can put that to one side to all dry. Meanwhile, we've got some Tamiya LP5 semi-gloss black. I'm going to go around all the parts. You guessed it, we want in semi-gloss black. We're going to paint them semi-gloss black. Who'd have thought today? We're going for my Iwata HPC Plus now at about 18 PSI. And I'm just picking and choosing the parts I need. Got the instructions in front of me for the callouts. I did paint this drive prop shaft black originally, and I thought, yeah, no, I wanted silver, so I painted silver later on. But like I say, it is a bit of a mammoth painting session, but it's quicker, so much quicker. On larger parts like these subframes, I like to do the old wiggle. Gets in all the nooks and crannies a bit easier. And just build it up slow. No matter what paint it is, unless it's a gloss or GX2 that has to go on wet, there's no benefit for spraying wet coats. Just do nice light coats. There we go. Same with this firewall bulkhead as well. Lots of painting. But once this is done, that's it. You're basically done with your painting, other than a bit of detail painting, or you might need to mask a few bits, other than the window surrounds. That's it. You're pretty much done. So we've got some Pro Scale bright aluminium, and I'm going to paint up the brake master reservoir, or master cylinder. So we're going to paint it in silver, and then we'll detail paint it later. This bright aluminium from Pro Scale, such a finely pigmented metallic colour. Absolutely stunning. That and our gunmetal, absolutely amazing looking colours. And there we go. There's our prop shaft, drive shaft. I thought, no, do you know what? It's going to look better in silver. So a couple of light coats of our silver. We're through the Iwata CR3 now, Revolution. I use that for my metallics. Currently using 3 airbrushes at the minute. My Apex is out of action. I broke a few bits on it. So I'm using the CR3 for metallics and general solid colours on the cars. I use my HPC Plus for just general painting of all different colours. And my Revolution CR.5 is my 2K. I need a 4th airbrush. I don't know if it's a repurpose or get the Apex back and run again for metallics, or go for another Iwata Revolution. I do love the Apex airbrush, but I do love my Iwatas as well, so not too sure at the minute. We've got some decanted Revell Chrome now as well at the spray can. I've thinned this 50-50 with Mr. Hobby Level and Thinner. This is the first test of doing this. It sprays just the same. I think it is a little bit more resilient to fingerprints, but as we'll find out later, it's not perfect at all. These need clear coating. To be able to handle these chromes, they need clear coating. The chrome paint is the holy grail for modelers. So yes, you are going to have to accept the compromise of having super bright, shiny chrome. Is that you're going to have to clear coat it. So yeah. And again, with this, we want to get a base coat of chrome down. We're going too crazy, and then we'll go back over with a wetter coat, and that will give our full chrome effect. So it sprays beautifully. It's £25 for a can. How that works out compared to likes of Molotow, I'm not sure. But unlike Molotow, you've got the inconvenience of having to decant it. So yeah, I'm on the fence here which one I prefer. Like I say, for patrons, you guys, I'm going to do a full chrome test at some point, and we'll have a little look. What gives the best finish? What is the most resilient? What takes the clear coat? What clear coat works best? And I will make my informed decision by that. And I myself and Simon are waiting for a chrome to come in, so I'll hopefully test that when it does. It'll be interesting to see, but I know it does come with a sealer. So again, we're back to the thing of it needs sealing. I think it's just a thing with chrome. It just needs sealing. There's no way around it. It's just one of those things. But this chrome looks absolutely beautiful and sprayed. If it just dried like this and stayed like this, would be fine. But no, alas, the chrome paint is the holy grail of modelling paint. There we go. Like I say, put a light coat down, heavier coat down, and then we come in right at the end for another heavier coat, just to make sure we've got that nice smooth chrome finish. And then this is going to go away for 4 or 5 days and just leave it be. I think we're about 3 days into the build here, 2 days into the build, so plenty of time. We've got a Pro Scale gunmetal, which I'm going to use on the exhaust as well. Again, another beautiful colour. Ultra fine pigmented paint. They're absolutely stunning. This is my own mix of paint, as is the bright aluminium. So I created this from scratch. And it's a beautiful colour. Absolutely stunning. Like I say, super finely pigmented. Very, very nice. Goes down absolutely beautiful. There we go. Now the engine, we're going to drill out our plug points. So looking at some real life reference pictures, I figured out that Revell has actually molded them in place with some fake spark plug heads. So I had to take those off with a knife and then drill it through with our Hairzo drill. Blow off any excess, wipe the bit off. And just take your time drilling all these points. Now we're going to go for distributor for these. Not the best pre-wire distributors, but one that I've got and I'm going to use. I still got about 4 of them left. And then we're going to drill out the distributor hole itself, because they're never big enough. So I've got my Tamiya pin vise and my, let me remember, the Rotorcraft drill bits. That's what they are. They are the shank drill bits. I think this is the 2mm one. It's the biggest one in the pack. Pointing at something with my little finger. Oh, hello. It's over there. And there we go. There's my wire cutters. Say RIP to those later on. Cut the distributor to size. Test fit. In we go. And then we can glue our distributor. Now this distributor, the stem actually broke off. You'll see it in a minute, which is really annoying. So, you know, I paid for a part and it broke. But we'll get the inner manifold in place. Like so. And then our distributor, which is broke, which is really annoying. So I glued it together as good as possible, popped it in, and it seemed to hold together all right. And then we're going to cut off all the little bits of the rubber tubing, just roughly to the same length. And this will be our rubber boots to the HT leads where they connect to the spark plugs. So what we'll do is cut off 8 of those, slide them over the leads, push them back as far as we can, and then put the lead in place, cut it to length, slide it over like so, and then pop the lead in the hole we drilled earlier. Like that. There we go. Once you're happy, you can shape it all, pull it back out, get some glue, pop it in the hole, and then push everything down until you're happy. So we've got just normal clear glue here with one of the precision tips I use from Amazon. And there we go, pop that in place. Repeat that for the next one. So just snip the wire to a little bit longer than you need because you have got a hollow engine. We've drilled into it. So a lot of the excess wire will push inside. We can pull down the cut bit of rubber. Shape everything again, make sure we've got it all where we want it. Get some clear glue in the hole again. I'm just talking to you a lot on the live stream by the look of it. Pop the glue in. Get everything in position. Hold it for a second or two. And there we go. There's two of them in place. Like I say, really nice engine on this car. Really nice kit. And there we go. With the last one in place, there's all 8 leads in. All positioned just where I want them. The coil one will tuck in somewhere later. Just hide it down the back of the engine most probably. Then we can go over our exhaust manifolds as well. So these are handy, make sure you get the right side. A couple of dabs of glue in their locating points. Get the manifold on. Hold it in place. There we go. Pin vise is out again, and this time we were drilling our battery. So it had a couple of terminals on it, so just drilled right up next to those on a slight angle. And we've got some red and black wire. I'm just going to put a short piece on each, run it down the side. As you see, all my wires on sewing machine bobbins. A great idea from Sam Connolly. Thank you, Sam. Sam won't see this though, so yes, we'll have to all tell her thank you. Paul Price, if you're watching, you speak to her. Thanks, Sam, for me. It's a great idea, this, for storing your wires. A little dab of glue on each one, pop them in, and then we're going to paint the terminal silver. I've just got a cocktail stick with some Tamiya enamel silver paint. Just touch it to it. Like so. And then we've got some red for the topper points as well. My fan takes a couple of coats of the red for the black. Exhaust system in place. We've got some super glue holding the parts in place. We've painted the fuel tank as well in, I think I did that in Tamiya Chrome from the enamel range, I think it was. So the exhaust glued in place, we can move on to the interior. So painted this a while back. They've got some wood decals in the kit. There's quite a lot of wood decals and they're actually really, really good. So we've got them in place the normal way, just the way we normally apply decals. And we've got some UMP decal solutions, starting with the normal, working our way up to the strong. I'm just going to lay them all in place. And they actually make quite a nice interior. It is actually pretty decent, the interior. Like I say, very comprehensive decal sheet. See the dashboard's looking good. And it's things like this that make a difference, because there's some kits out there that will tell you to paint this rather than giving you the decal. I think it's well worth adding. Well worth adding. Right then, it's 2K clear coat time. So we've got the booth all stripped out, fresh paper in, fresh filter. We've got my box to the left where the body will be capped. We've got the Pro Scale 2K paint. I've wetted the surface on the kitchen paper with some water. And we're going to do a 2-to-1 mix of clear to activator and then a 5% mix of thinner for the whole combined amount. So for this, if you do 2-to-1, if you mix like 10 ml of clear, 5 ml of hardener, which is what I'm doing here. You don't always need this much, but we're having a separate bonnet and different parts. I'd rather mix too much. It's just the way I work. So that's 10 ml of clear, 5 ml of the activator, using a pipette for each one. If you do use pipette for each one, don't mix the pipettes and put them in different bottles or you contaminate them. That makes 15 ml of combined clear. So we want 5% of that. So 10% would be 1.5 mil, 5% would be 0.75. So simple as that. So 0.75 mil of thinner in there. Give it a really good mix up. Again, use separate pipettes. Don't you reuse pipettes. Looks like I'm going very fast. This footage, believe it or not, is actually sped up. And there we go. Strainer through a 190 micron strainer. The booth is running. I've got my full face respirator on. I'm double gloved on that left hand. On my own in my booth with my fully rated respirator. We've got the Tamiya anti-static brush. So I am attacking the car vigorously with for some reason. Quick test spray of the airbrush. We're at about 25 psi. A quick blow over with my Iwata Revolution CR. And here we go. So we're going to apply one wet coat or semi-wet coat at the beginning. As you can see, we're going along. We're keeping that wet edge. So we get a nice semi-gloss clear coat all over. We're not aiming for full coverage on this coat. We're just aiming for even coverage everywhere. We don't want to get a nice glossy finish. We're just going for a nice semi-gloss coat all over. So start at the bottom of the sills, work your way up, getting the inner wheel arches. Keep following that edge as well. Keep the wet edge. I am liking this 0.5 CR Revolution Iwata more and more for the 2K. I just find it puts it down really well. I've tried 0.5 before on the Apex and I did not like it at all. It just didn't seem to gel very well. The 0.3 Revolution Iwata worked well, but on seeing the spray pattern, I knew the 0.5 would work better. So this is my sole 2K airbrush. This is the only one I use for 2K currently. And it's working very well at the minute. Really high quality airbrush. Like I say, with the pressure about 24, 25 psi. Like I say, we're just going to go around, get a nice even first gloss coat down. Make sure it's got all those nooks and crannies, wheel arches, everywhere it may need. Just having a quick look around with the light, making sure it's all even, which it is. Into the plastic case for storage. 5 minutes later, we've done the bonnet, the wing mirrors at the same time as well. All those pieces have been done at the same time. We're now with a full wet coat. So this is a bit more of a purposeful wet coat. So we're a little bit further back on the trigger of the airbrush. Again, following the same pattern, keeping that wet edge. I'm going a little bit slower in my passes, just a tad slower. And we're just trying to get that nice, perfect glass-like finish. So this takes practice. Every time you do this will be different. Some you'll get on the second pass and it'll be perfect. It'll go straight in the box, job done. Some you'll have to put another coat on. Some you just have to put a few spots in a few different places. Use your own judgment, use your own eye, use the light to your advantage, angle everything so you can see it. And as I always say, remember what you see now is how it's going to dry. So if there's orange peel there, it's going to dry with orange peel. Now our 2K is very forgiving. I've not had a run yet, touch wood. I am actually touching wood, not in that way. So you can put a bit more down than you think. It is very, very forgiving. So my best advice is put your full wet coat on. Have a little look. Make sure you get everywhere you can as good as you can. If you can see a bit of orange peel like some on that boot lid, it just needs a little bit more. But what I would do is put it back in your case for a minute like I've just done. Literally goes in for 60 seconds. I'll spray the bonnet and the wing mirrors while it's in there. And then take it out and just use your light, angle it, and just look for imperfections. Just look every square centimetre of that body, looking for any areas that aren't fully gloss or anything. Now you're going to get dust, that's going to happen, it's inevitable. But you don't want any ripples in the paint or any orange peel. You want it to be like glass. Don't worry if it looks a little bit too thick. As long as you don't get a run, you're going to flat it back anyway, and you'll get rid of that thickness. What we're aiming for is a good, clean gloss coat, because I don't be spending hours trying to polish up to get the gloss coat. I'd rather take back a slightly thicker 2K and have a nice gloss coat underneath. So that's what I'm aiming for here. We're just going for a nice, perfect finish all over. See if we can see a slight imperfection, just a little bit of waviness in the clear. Pop it back in the box for a minute, just 60 seconds will do. Take it back out, and you see a little bit more like I've just done there. Look, just along that edge. Just give it a little bit more. That boot lid needs a little bit more. I can see that on camera now. It's just a little bit ripply. Hopefully I'll spot it. There you go, I did. And other than that, that looks pretty good to me. That will dry and self-level nicely. Now, it will self-level a touch more when it's left. But at this point now, it's been sat for a couple of minutes and I've brought it out for the second time. This is where I want my finish to be about right. So I popped it back in for another minute. Just have a little look. I can't see any problems there now, really. And if you do, you can still put a little bit more down. But pop it back in the booth and leave it alone. So that's going to cure now for 5 days. And in the meantime, we're going to crack on with the rest of the model. So we can get on with some engine assembly. So we've got all our auxiliary belt pulleys. They've all been painted up. I'm just test fitting all that to see how it sits. Get everything glued in place with a drop of CA glue. And then we can get our gearbox in place at the back as well. Very positive locating point there. Nice big triangle. No way you're getting that mixed up in the wrong way around. Oh, or dropping it on the bench. There we go. Just hold the pull. Keep hold. Keep hold. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Very nearly there. Nearly? Nearly? Yep. Yep. There we go. Glued in place. So, with the engine done, pretty much assembled. There's a few parts to go on. We'll have to stick on afterwards. We'll crack on with the interior. So my lovely Hannah has flocked the interior for me. I'm going to use my edding pen just to add a bit of silver detail to the window winders. This is an actual paint marker pen. It's not an actual pen. It is actually a paint pen. The metallic colour is very, very good. I like using it on little door handles and things. Again, you've got to be very careful because it doesn't dry quick and it doesn't like being handled. But on parts like this, that will never be handled, it is perfect. No idea what that noise is. Something's going on outside. And there we go. A few dabs of CA glue on the edge. We can get the door cards in place. Again, they're okay very positively in place. All our seats are in. Center console's in. There we go. And then on the edges as well. There we are. We can glue the other side in too. Just make sure your decals are burnished down. So I've got a cotton bud in there. Just make sure they're all fully down. And then the steering wheel in place. We can pop our dashboard on as well. So I keep saying about the kit. The kit's brilliant. I can't recommend this kit enough. It's absolutely brilliant. Look at that interior. It's lovely. Got a nice flock carpet from Pro Scale, the nice Napa black leather from Pro Scale, and the lovely wood decals as well. Really nice interior. It's broken up from a normal sea of black by the nice tonal differences of the leather colour and the wood trim. Just looks great. A little bit of detail painting on the brake master cylinder now. Got a bit of Tamiya titanium gold. Not quite the right colour, but it'll do for me. Just going to very carefully detail paint everything we need to. Again, we won't have to handle this part, so it's no issue. And that just glues in place in front of where the interior sits. So a couple of dabs of glue in there. We can get all that glued in place. This cheap glue from Amazon, absolutely brilliant. It's in my store. It's linked in the description of the video. It's £6 for 2 bottles. Really good glue. It grips and bites like hell. Not you, the model. And it just sticks the plastic parts really well. It really does grab them well. Pair that with the precision nozzles and it's just great. Really is. So we've got our battery that we wired up earlier. We've got some CA glue in place where that's going to sit. We can pop that in place. Drop it a few times, then get it in. There we go. And then we've got our rear subframe. So fun fact, when I first built this, I built it all the wrong way around. Completely the wrong way around. Don't know how I did it, but I did. When I tried to fix it, it all fell to bits. And I thought, you know what? We'll use the new one off the new kit and we'll fix that problem later down the line. So yeah, I managed to go and glue it all the wrong way around originally. So I had to rebuild all this and repaint it all. So yes, read your instructions properly. Do as I say, not as I do. Yes, it definitely is. Mounting points for the engine now as well. A couple of glue points. One where the transmission sits just there at the back. And then the two at the front. You have to pop it in place, you have to hold it for a little bit. Love that blue. The blue is so striking in that engine bay. It looks absolutely fantastic. Like I say, just keep a hold of it. Make sure you get all the exhaust in place and lined up properly. And then we can get our rear shocks in place on that subframe. Drop it a few times. So just line it up. There's two locating points, one at the bottom and one just on the top of the subframe itself. They're a bit tricky to get in, so just take a little bit of finagling to get them in there, but they do fit in there quite well. There we go, and then the front subframe, again, just a few dabs of CA glue, and we can get that in place too. There are some springs in there as well, which are glued in place. And then we're just going to trim our battery cables. Just fold them underneath like so. And then we'll have a quick test fit in the body. Let's see how she all looks. The body's been drying now for a couple of days. It's handleable. It's not fully cured, but it's handleable. 2K looks great. And yeah, interior looks good in there. Got a nice contrast of different colours in there. And while we're there, might as well test fit the chassis as well, mightn't we? Got a plan with the wheels on this. I'm not going with the stock wheels. I've got some different wheels from an old kit, but we'll deal with those in part 3. And after all, everything fits in there well. 2K is looking good. These were the wheels I was trying to use. These are the wheels I bought for my LFA. These would have looked absolutely phenomenal, but they were way too wide for the back. They wouldn't go under the arches at all. So we have these stock rims off the LFA, which we're going to try and fit in place, but we'll deal with that in part 3. There we are. That's it. That's where we're at today. So the finishing stages are ahead of us. It's a great kit. It really is a good kit. Thoroughly enjoying this one. And it's just been great fun from start to finish. It really has. So if you're looking at a new kit, something American, don't look at the box art. Box art's terrible. It doesn't do the kit justice at all. It's a good looking car, and it's a great kit to build as well. So yeah, that's it. That's where we're at today. I've not got much more to say really. Everything's going fine. Happy with the colour choice. The red looks fantastic. The 2K turned out brilliant. Pro Scale 2K is absolutely awesome stuff. It really is good. And like I said, we're ready for part 3 now. Final assembly. So there we are. Thanks for your continued support. Like I say, these are just for you. So if you're watching this, please leave a comment behind. What I'm going to stop doing, if you don't mind, is flashing all your names on screen on these videos. Only you guys get to watch these, so you know your patrons. But I will put them on anything public out there over on ISM, so it is publicly displayed. If you'd like your name flashed up, let me know, and I'll carry on doing it. It just takes another 5-10 minutes of me faffing around, putting things on every video, because there's lots of videos go on Patreon, not as many go on ISM. So if you don't mind, I'll just put them on the public videos over there. You know your patrons. I know you are because you're all watching this. But like I say, only you guys get to watch this now. Only the supporters get to watch this. So please leave a comment. You know what you think of the build so far. And if you've built this kit, let me know. If you're thinking of getting it, let me know as well, because I'd really like to know your thoughts on the kit as well. There we go. Part 3 is already voiced over and edited. I accidentally did it before this one. Yes, I was halfway through voiceover and thinking, I'm voiceover in the wrong video here. So part 3 is already done. So we'll get to that one almost straight away after this one gone up. And then I've got the condensed video as well, which you guys will get on Patreon early too. And that's the one that'll go on ISM. So thank you all for continuing support. You're absolute legends. I'll see you in part 3 very soon. That's nearly finished now as well, believe it or not. and that's been great fun as well. So wait till you see the part on that. And the Alpha Models Porsche is on the way to me soon as well, I believe. So I'll be interested to compare them both. There we go. Have a nice day, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.